Puff didn't get convicted of it. He went to trial, and they were going after him, but he didn't get convicted.
One more thing about the club. New York shooting, we'll get off of Puffy. Back then, there were rumors of Puffy paying people off to take the rap for him, this and that. I know that was real. I know that's something that
came out. That came
out. Yeah. Paying off the driver because the driver, said this or that.
That came out.
What are your thoughts?
Back then, there was a lot going on with that case. And I remember there was a lot going on with that case because I was there. So, that was always an allegation that the driver was paid and everything else. But they used all that in court, but Puff didn't get convicted of it. He went to trial, and they were going after him, but he didn't get convicted because the whole idea was the believability of the witnesses.
Right.
If they believed that this happened or didn't happen. And I think there was some kind of unsurety about if this person was telling the truth or not. Right.
And you're just going off of what the jury of 12 came back with, the verdict.
And that's basically what it is. It's they're the ones that have to go and say, without a doubt, he's guilty. Right. I was in the courthouse waiting for the verdict, so I know. I was sitting there because the police commissioner asked me to sit there and wait because when Puff got arrested, he wanted to know if we would have community unrest. Like, if people were on the streets going to be upset, if it was going to... Back then, it would have been a big problem.
Yeah.
Too, in the streets. Because, people have these riots, these protests.
Right.
And the police department was very concerned about that at the time, so that was something, too.
Yeah, I remember, because there's some video footage back then, and it seems like how there were a lot of people outside of court, rooting for Puffy. They were on his side, and it's funny just now, 20 plus years later, how people are so against him.
You know what? Because so much has been said about Puff in the last few years about how he's controlling, how he's manipulative, how he's
blowing up
this guy. But when you're in his position like his, man, you have to be a certain way. He's a boss, and certain things get told. Like I was watching the thing with Wendy Williams that said that she said some stuff about him, and he called the radio station. If she's on, we're not doing any business.
He got her fired, supposedly.
Yeah, well, he had a lot of power back then. His brand was very strong.
Right.
Sean John, he had Bad Boy Business. He had a lot of things. But over the years, the dislike of him. There are people that don't like Puffy, don't even know him. Right. I believe that. I talk to people. What do you know about Puff? I don't know anything. I just don't like the guy. You don't even know him. Right, you don't even know what kind of person he is. But the hearsay, the rhetoric, the stuff that's been going on about him, the bad publicity, the negativity, people hate him.
Right. Okay. Any last words regarding the Puffy situation?
No. Well, we'll have to see what happens. I mean, the case is not over yet, so we'll see exactly in the next few days or few weeks what's happening with him.
All right.